Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 14 of our English 3020 online course. I know this video looks a little bit different this week, and I apologize for that. I'm actually sneaking this recording in after my kids have gone to bed. It's been a wild day, so I apologize for not having this posted earlier. But I did want to take time to talk to you guys about your work this week. We just finished a really big project. You guys have project 3 in the books. It's done. Phew. Everybody can breathe a big sigh of relief. And now I breathe a big sigh of, I have to grade them all now. But I really am excited because I've talked to many of you during office hours and in conferences, and I really am excited to see the projects and how they've shaped up in their final form. This week, we turn our attention in these last 2 weeks of class to our final project. And project 4 is a reflection project. So I want to talk through what that means and explain a little bit about the assignment description that's in your Canvas module. I also want to talk a little bit about the writing showcase, which is happening this Friday from noon to 2. Once again, the showcase is really a celebration of our work this semester, where we get to share with other comp students, instructors, peer mentors, and administrators the great work that you guys have done this semester. It really is a celebration, and it's going to be a really fun time on Facebook. So I will be posting the details for where to find that on I don't know, hopefully by Wednesday, I'll get all those details posted to you. I've already looked at everyone's posts to the discussion threads about what you're going to submit. Looks good. Everyone's making good choices. I'm happy to see that I've got a few videos that are in the pipeline. I'll be looking for those in my email by Wednesday. So anyways, today is mainly just for getting situated. We've got the showcase coming up. There's a couple readings, really light and hopefully really informative readings for you this week. A brief discussion, your very last one, and working on your project 4, which is a reflective essay. So I'm going to switch over to the Canvas share view. Also, probably it will help with this weird lighting. I'll share my screen with you to talk through some of the assignments, and then we'll close out this video. Okay. So first of all, you can see that our project 4 is only 2 weeks long. Here in week 14, we have a couple of readings. They should be super brief. Your very last discussion thread and the writing showcase. So these are the things that we need to absolutely do this week. But if you have time, and as you're thinking about these readings, it would be a good time to think about and maybe even start drafting your project 4 assignment, because next week, week 15, we're going to do an extra credit peer review, and then it's going to be due. So again, we only have 2 weeks for this project. I'm going to open it up and talk through the assignment just because I want to make sure that everybody's on the same page with what you need to do. So project 4 is essentially a reflective essay. And if you've taken any of the other comp courses here at Wayne State, you're familiar with this type of assignment. We do them a lot in English 1010 and English 1020. Mainly, a big reason is because a lot of the research in my discipline of rhetoric and composition shows that writers who reflect on their own writing process tend to both write higher quality pieces because you're reflecting on your process and thinking about what works and what doesn't in that process of metacognition. And secondly, writers who reflect on their own learning about writing tend to take that knowledge forward into other contexts. So there's really a lot of value in reflective writing. And what you'll see in this project is that we have the good old learning outcome. You'll remember this from your syllabus, or at least hopefully be mildly familiar with this: using reflective writing to describe your developing knowledge about writing, about yourself as a writer, and about your relationships with a community. This one, this relationships piece, that's the one that's unique to 3020. But if you've taken other writing courses at Wayne State, you will already be familiar with these ways. We've already used them in other comp classes. And if you haven't taken a comp class at Wayne yet, well, I'm sad that you missed out on the fun, but all of this stuff is really thinking, not just recounting. We don't want simply a narrative of what you've done. We want you to think about what you've done, and then we want you to make meaning out of it, make an analytical conclusion out of that reflection, and then provide evidence to support that reflection. So those are the 3 moves that we're looking for in this essay, and we're looking for you to do it about your writing, about yourself as a writer, and about your experiences with writing in and for a community. So we've done this already in some of your major projects and in your reflection journals. Here, what I really want you to think about are principles of writing that you've learned in this class that you can take forward into other contexts. And I want you to think about how you can support those principles with specific examples from your own journey this semester. So for this project, I'm asking for about 4 to 5 pages. It could be slightly less, it could be slightly more. I never am too fussy about the exact word count or page count. It's just an estimate to give you an idea of the quality and depth of thinking that I'm looking for. So you can articulate 3 to even 5 principles of writing. You can draw these from the syllabus, from the course learning outcomes. You can draw them from your own experience with writing about and for a community like St. Vincent Sarah Fisher. First, you want to review, right? This is the looking back part of reflection. Look back at your reflection journals. Look back at your position statement from the very beginning of the semester. Think about how you've changed as a scholar and a writer since then. Maybe you've only grown more. Maybe you came face to face with some things that challenged your position statement from that time. This is going to be descriptive work. How do you describe both writing and thinking like a writer in these pieces? You can review your completed projects. You can think about examples from your writing process. You can think about examples from your research process. Remember, we have learning outcomes that cover the spectrum from writing to research to community engagement. So there's a lot of things for you to think about in your personal growth and learning this semester. Once you've decided on some examples and evidence, then you want to compose your essay, making a clear claim about your growth as a writer. You can focus on the writing itself, right? If we look back up here, you can focus on this as your central theme. You can focus on yourself as a writer, things you've learned about yourself or ways that you've grown in particular in your writing process. You could think about writing in relation to our community partner, St. Vincent Sarah Fisher, or you could do a combination of those. But you definitely want to be thinking about specifics, right? Like a principle such as working with interview data. We didn't really do interviews per se, but if you were thinking about working with field notes to generate research writing, that's a key principle of the writing process. It's not like you're going to say, I definitely grew as a writer because I did. You want to be more specific, and you want to support each claim that you make about the principles of writing that you're thinking about with evidence from your own work. So each principle of writing that you address doesn't have to be a single paragraph. Please, if it's going to be a more complicated principle, you might need a couple paragraphs to deal with it. But you're definitely using your own work as the evidence, as your sources, if you will, to support your claims. And you definitely want it to be clear and coherent, organized, and we're going for a reflective tone, but not an informal tone. So think about trying to make your case for how much you've learned as a writer, as a researcher, as a community participant. So that about sums it up. 4 to 5 pages. We've got a couple of weeks to work on this. Hopefully it's not a very stressful project. I hope that it's both enjoyable and gratifying as you look back on your own growth and learning as a writer. So that's about it. I'm scrolling down to just give us one more overview. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to look at the week 14 overview so we can see what we're dealing with this week in particular. So you definitely want to be watching the week 14 instructor video, which you're already doing. Good job. High five. Read through that Project 4 assignment description. I know I just went through it with you, but you probably want to read through it on your own. Look at your own writing from this semester, and take a look at the 2 pieces by Kara Tazak. These are some seminal and rather more recent pieces about reflection and reflective theory in writing. So we've included them here so that you can have some more theoretical grounding on why we might even have you write a reflection in the first place. Hopefully it helps establish a lot of the value that is in reflection for a writer. And then in terms of actually doing stuff, you want to engage in the writing showcase and do your last discussion. So this is what our week looks like. I'm getting this video posted a little bit late, but hopefully you still have plenty of time to get going on this stuff by Wednesday. And then Friday we'll be participating in our showcase, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. And then by Sunday, you want to be working on your drafts and participating in that discussion. Remember, I know we've been saying this all semester, but don't leave it until Sunday. Try to start, if you're the final person to do discussion this semester, make sure you get things posted no later than Friday so that your whole team can be having an actual discussion, something that's really valuable, really wrestling with these ideas, okay? All right, let's finish strong. I'm going to pull us back to our full view and I'll close out this video. Okay, so that about does it. We will be having a lot of fun at the showcase on Friday. And this is going to be my last video for you guys. Try not to cry. I will be available, of course, for office hours appointments, particularly on Wednesday and then the following Monday and Wednesday. Those will be my most open availabilities for office hours. But otherwise, if you have questions, do not hesitate to email me. I've had some really fun and productive discussions with some of you via email, and I think that that's working pretty well. Also, don't forget, your peer mentors are here for you. They haven't stopped thinking about you, and they are definitely eager to support you throughout this last project. So make sure if you have questions, hit up Kat and Carly on your discussion boards. Make sure that you have their email addresses, that they've got all their contact information posted for you. So keep them in mind for quick questions, or even just if you need a little moral support as we move into the final weeks of the semester. All right, it's been such a joy being with you guys. I have highly enjoyed our semester together, and I'm so grateful to be your instructor. Just a quick reminder, and I'll post an announcement about this next week, but our student evaluations of teaching are coming up. You should be getting emails about that in your inbox. So keep your eyes peeled. I really do value your honest feedback. Just like I said at midterms with those MAP surveys, it really helps me adjust things and revise things appropriately for you and for my future students. And I just like hearing how you guys feel and have thought about our work together this semester. So thank you in advance for your set comments. And I can't wait to see you guys on Friday at the showcase. All right, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you at the showcase. Bye, everybody.